The Trillion Dollar AgTech Revolution. Imagine a world where food shortages are a distant memory, where every crop yields its maximum potential, where a farmer in Iowa knows the exact moisture level of his soil down to the centimeter, can predict pest infestations 3 weeks in advance, and optimizes every decision through AI-powered insights that costs almost nothing to implement. That's not science fiction. That's not some distant utopia. That's the imminent reality being quietly cultivated right now, in 2025, by an invisible revolution happening in fields and boardrooms across the globe. We're about to expose the cutting-edge technology and the surprising companies silently revolutionizing our food supply. We're going to reveal who's truly getting obscenely wealthy from this transformation and why you need to know who they are, because the fortunes being made right now will dwarf the tech boom of the 2000s. This is data-driven agriculture, and if you're not paying attention, you're missing the biggest wealth creation opportunity of the decade. Section 1. The Invisible Crisis. Let me paint you a picture that most people are completely blind to. The global population is hurting toward 10 billion people. That's not tomorrow, that's 2050. And right now, we have a problem nobody wants to talk about. Our current farming methods are fundamentally broken. Traditional agriculture, the way we've been farming for centuries, is operating at abysmal efficiency levels. A typical farmer uses the same amount of water, fertilizer, and pesticides across an entire field, even though different patches of that field have completely different needs. It's like giving the exact same medicine to every patient in a hospital, regardless of what's actually wrong with them. The result? We're wasting approximately 30 to 40% of food production before it even reaches consumers. We're depleting aquifers that took thousands of years to fill. We're dumping excess fertilizers into waterways, creating dead zones the size of entire states. And we're doing all this while still failing to feed nearly 700 million people who experience hunger daily. This isn't a moral crisis. Well, it is, but that's not why the smartest investors care. They care because this is an economic crisis masquerading as an agricultural problem. Here's what keeps billionaires awake at night. The world needs to produce 70% more food by 2050 using roughly the same amount of land. Do the math. It's impossible with current methods. Which means one of two things happens. Either we solve this problem, or we face unprecedented global instability, mass migration, wars over water, and societal collapse. But there's a third option, and it's worth trillions of dollars. Section 2. The AgTech Revolution. Enter data-driven agriculture. AgTech, the intelligent farm. This isn't about replacing tractors with robots, though that's happening too. This is about fundamentally rewiring how we think about farming by treating it like what it actually is, a complex data problem. Imagine sensors scattered across a field, thousands of them, each one measuring soil moisture, nitrogen levels, pH balance, temperature, humidity, and dozens of other variables, not once a season, but constantly, real time, every second. Then artificial intelligence takes that data, millions of data points, hour after hour, day after day, and identifies patterns that no human could ever see. It learns exactly what conditions produce the highest yield. It predicts when disease will strike before a single plant shows symptoms. It optimizes irrigation to the gallon, fertilizer to the ounce. The result? Farmers increase yields by 20 to 40% using 30 to 50% less water, less fertilizer, less pesticide. That's not incremental improvement, that's transformation. And here's what makes this so significant for investors. This technology doesn't just work better, it's becoming faster than anyone expected. 5 years ago, implementing precision agriculture on a farm costs thousands of dollars per acre. Today, it's hundreds. Soon, it'll be yours. The economics are becoming undeniable. But it goes deeper than that. Precision agriculture generates data, massive amounts of it. Farmers are finally capturing information about their operations in a format that's analyzable, comparable, tradable. That data becomes the foundation for predictive models, which becomes the foundation for autonomous systems, which becomes the foundation for a completely reimagined food production ecosystem. We're talking about vertical farms in cities producing food with 95% less water. We're talking about AI-optimized crop selection that matches regional conditions perfectly. We're talking about supply chain transparency that eliminates fraud and spoilage. This is the real revolution. Let's talk numbers, because this is where it gets truly staggering. The global agricultural technology market is currently valued at approximately $25 billion. That seems massive until you accomplish something. The total global agricultural market is over $2 trillion annually. AgTech currently represents just over 1% of that market. 1%. Now imagine that penetration grows to 5%. That's a $100 billion market. To 10%, $200 billion. To 20%, we're talking about $400 billion in addressable market opportunity. But here's the thing. These numbers are conservative because they only count hardware and software sales. They don't count the value created by increased productivity. They don't count the inefficiencies eliminated. They don't count the waste prevented. When you factor in the total economic impact of data-driven agriculture on global food production, we're not talking about hundreds of billions. We're talking about trillions of dollars in value creation. And unlike many emerging technologies that take decades to reach adoption, AgTech is moving with shocking speed because the problem it solves is urgent. The solution works immediately, and the ROI is undeniable. A farmer who invests $50,000 in precision agriculture technology on a 1,000-acre farm typically sees that investment paid back within 2 to 3 years through increased yields and reduced input costs. Then every year after that is pure profit improvement. That's not venture capital math. That's not maybe this will work eventually. That's immediate, measurable return. Which means institutional money is flooding in. Venture capital, private equity, strategic corporate investments, everyone is racing to position themselves before the consolidation phase begins, and it's already begun.
Section 4. The Titans Reshaping the Industry. Now, let's talk about who's actually winning. Most people think of Monsanto or Bayer when they think about agriculture. Those are yesterday's winners. They're dinosaurs trying to adapt to a world they didn't create. They'll survive, but they won't dominate. The real action is happening elsewhere. Climate Field View, John Deere's AI platform, has already captured millions of acres of data. They're not selling John Deere green equipment anymore. They're selling insight. They're selling the ability to turn raw farming operations into optimized, data-driven systems. John Deere isn't a tractor company anymore. It's becoming a data company. Indigo Agriculture raised over $1 billion building a platform that connects farmers, agronomists, and technology providers into a single ecosystem. They're not just selling technology, they're creating network effects. The more farmers join, the better their models become. The better their models, the more farmers want to join. Trimble Agriculture quietly built one of the most comprehensive precision agriculture platforms on the market. They're in every major geographic market, servicing thousands of farms, collecting terabytes of agricultural data daily. But here's where it gets interesting. The biggest winners aren't the companies you've heard of. They're the specialists, the vertical-focused players. Raven Industries, focused on application technology and autonomy, is becoming indispensable. CNH Industrial is moving aggressively into autonomous and connected equipment. AGCO, which most people have never heard of, is positioning itself as the aggregator of agtech solutions. And then there are the dark horses, the companies that aren't household names but are accumulating competitive advantages so rapidly that they'll either be acquired for billions or become the next dollar giants. The companies that will dominate aren't necessarily the ones with the best technology today. They're the ones building the platforms that become the standard infrastructure. They're the ones capturing the data. They're the ones creating network effects that make them impossible to compete against. Think about how Microsoft dominated, not because DOS was better, but because it became the standard. Think about how AWS dominates cloud computing, not because Amazon invented the cloud, but because they built the infrastructure everyone else runs on. That's what's happening in agtech right now. The race is about to become the operating system of food production. Section 5. Disruption is accelerating. Here's what most people don't understand. This isn't a gradual transition, it's accelerating. Generative AI is entering the picture. Imagine an AI system that's seen millions of farming operations, millions of different crops, millions of different regional conditions. Imagine asking that system, what should I plant this season? And getting back not just a recommendation, but a detailed analysis of exactly how to optimize every variable. That's not coming in 5 years, that's coming in 2. Autonomous equipment is another accelerant. Self-driving tractors sound cool, but what's revolutionary is that autonomous equipment generates even more precise data. It operates with perfect consistency, it never gets tired, it can work 24/7. Vertical farming is moving from novelty to viable at scale. What seemed impossibly expensive is becoming rational from a cost perspective, especially in regions with water scarcity or unfavorable climates. Gene editing and synthetic biology are opening possibilities that were unimaginable a decade ago. Create crops that are more efficient, more resistant, more nutritious, all guided by data about what markets actually need. The combination of these technologies creates a compounding effect. Better data makes better AI. Better AI creates better decisions. Better decisions create better outcomes. Better outcomes drive adoption. Higher adoption creates more data, and the cycle repeats, accelerating each time. This isn't a curve that rises smoothly, it's an exponential curve, and we're at the point where the angle is getting steeper. Section 6. Why this matters to you right now. You might be thinking, this is interesting, but what does it have to do with me? Everything. First, from an investment perspective, if you're not actively tracking agtech opportunities, you're missing one of the clearest, most fundable, most economically rational technology booms in decades. The companies that dominate this space will create generational wealth. The investors who position themselves early will be among those wealth creators. Second, from a macro perspective, the solution to global food security, water scarcity, and environmental sustainability isn't going to come from traditional agriculture. It's going to come from the data-driven revolution. Understanding this space isn't optional if you want to understand where the world is heading. Third, practically speaking, the careers being created in agtech, the engineers, the data scientists, the agronomists trained in modern methods, are among the most in-demand and best compensated positions emerging. If you're thinking about your career trajectory, this is a sector experiencing explosive growth. Fourth, for entrepreneurs, if you can see a gap in this ecosystem and build a solution, the capital available to fund you is essentially unlimited right now. VCs are hunting for agtech founders like they've never hunted for anything before. So here's the reality. The trillion-dollar transformation of global agriculture is happening right now. It's not a future possibility. The technology exists, the capital is flowing, the farmers are adopting, the winners are being determined as we speak. The question isn't whether this revolution is real. The question is, are you going to be part of it, or are you going to watch from the sidelines? If you're serious about understanding where the real wealth is being created in 2025 and beyond, if you want to position yourself ahead of the curve before this opportunity becomes obvious to everyone, then you need to take action right now. First, hit that subscribe button. We're breaking down emerging industries and the wealth creation opportunities others are missing. This won't be the last time we cover the transformational trends that actually matter. Second, check the description below. We've compiled a detailed resource guide, key companies to watch, investment frameworks for evaluating agtech opportunities, and a breakdown of the most promising subsectors within this space. Download it, study it, use it to inform your decisions. Third, join our community. We have a private community of people who are actively monitoring these opportunities, sharing research, and positioning themselves at the frontier of wealth creation. The link to join is in the description. And fourth, if you know someone who needs to understand why agtech is the most significant wealth creation opportunity they're missing right now, share this video with them. Help them see what you now see. The future of food is being cultivated right now. The question is, will you be one of those doing the cultivation, or will you be left trying to catch up when it's too late? The time to move is now.